Thank you all for being here. The legislature is in day, what are we, 110. 110. It's been a long, difficult session. Unfortunately, when you get towards these sort of sessions at the end, things sometimes don't go as well as they should. In my estimation, I think the tax policy move last night by the legislature is a wrong move. I think it's wrong for the long-term view of the state of Kansas. I think it's wrong for growth. I don't think it's going to be a positive for this state moving down the road. What we've tried to do the last number of years is get Kansas in a more pro-growth position. We've been declining as a percent of the population in the country. We haven't had a robust economic activity, and we've tried to move in place in a way that would be pro-growth, so that we could attract more people, attract more businesses, attract more opportunities. And that was working. And we were seeing that attraction, and particularly attracting in the region, and particularly on the Missouri border. We've seen record small business creation taking place. We've seen record private sector employment. We've seen record low for the last 17 years unemployment rates for the state of Kansas on the private sector side, at the same time that the public sector side has not been growing, or it's been smaller. Because long-term growth and the key to America isn't building government. It's providing more opportunities for people. That's the long-term opportunity. That's the long-term vision. That's the long-term opportunity for this country, and what's always been the best for it is to provide that chance, provide that choice. Let a person get out there and try. And they may fail, but you hope to get a lot of people trying, and then eventually end up with your good large employers like Garmin, other groups in the state, or what's more typical, a whole lot of small businesses that are having 3 people or 5 people that work with them. And for years I've heard people saying, well, you give all this subsidy to big business, what about me? And this is somebody that hires 2 people that's been in their community for 50 years, and they're saying, you know, I'm kind of struggling out here, and you guys are putting a lot of regulation and taxes on me. And so what we did coming into office is to say, let's give the small business guy a break. Let's not tax him. And in all our economic modeling, that showed a very strong growth of jobs taking place with it. So we did. Took the tax off of small business. Record numbers of small businesses for 6 years in a row. As I mentioned, record private sector job growth in the state of Kansas off of that policy. People saying they didn't like that policy. They said, no, we don't like that model. We think that gets abused, and wanted to tighten that up, which I was fine with doing. But instead what happened was it was not tightened up, it was taken away altogether. And now you're going to see small businesses taxed at 5.7% income tax rates, and you're going to see the creation and the number of them go down substantially, and you're going to see the migration from other neighboring states into Kansas slow down substantially. And this is not to our long-term benefit. This isn't the right way to go. There was another way. And we kept working with people, but that just wasn't in the cards, and was difficult to happen. And you get late in the session, and I think a number of people threw their hands up and said, this is the only way to go. The unfortunate thing is it's a bad way to go. And we're going to have long-term negative consequences for the economy of the state and for the people of Kansas going this route. I regret that. I think that's bad for the long-term trajectory of this state. It's a decision that was made. It's a decision that will be implemented, and we will handle and deal with that. And a lot of people made it about me, but it's not about me. It's about Kansas. It's about the future of the state. It's about which way we want to go. Do we want to be a high-tax, slow growth, or no-growth state? Or a pro-growth state, that over time, and these things take time, and you have to take the variables of commodity prices and the complexities of an economy, which are substantial. Economies aren't single entity creatures, that one thing happens and everything blossoms off of it. It's multiple sets of factors, and we've had commodity prices over the last 3 or 4 years, and those have a big impact on us. And we continue to have slow performance in our aviation sector, of the business jet sector. Those sales, they continue to be down. So you got fundamentals of this economy that have poorly performed over the last several years, but you can't blame the tax policy on that. Those are global forces that create and cause that. So I think we've taken a big step backwards. I think it's the wrong philosophy to implement, but you get late in the session and things like this happen and move forward as people don't see another option or another way. And I understand that. I've been a legislator and I understand the difficulties of doing that job. And we've got a number of fine people in the legislature trying to do their level best that they can. I just think this is the wrong way for us to go.
Governor.
So we'll,
all right.
move forward with that. John?
Thank you very much, guys.
Governor,
Appreciate it.
Questions.
what about the school?
Governor, what does this mean for your legacy?